Hey guys, so I was just taking some time to take in like my full appreciation of being graduated from college. It's bittersweet, like sweet, I get to work, start move on to the next chapter of my life. Bitter in that, there's some mo memories there, even the terrible ones, but I still miss today. And I was there for 16 whole semesters, so like 5 years in a semester. I started in fall 2017, September 2017, and I ended in the fall semester of 2022, which was Christmas last year. And today I thought the best way to like fully appreciate all my moments was to do a rough recap of what was my favorite semester all the way down to my least favorite semester. Although I have memories, that I all miss, I want to recap from best to worst. So here we go. My favorite semester was the fifth semester, and that was spring 2019. At the time, I was enrolled in four courses. I was enrolled in economics, managerial accounting, linear algebra, and what was the last statistics. That semester was a fairly it was a hard semester because I worked hard, but also one of my more passionate semesters because like they all involved new numbers in some sort of way. My favorite subject at the time was linear algebra. I got an A in that course. I absolutely loved it. Um, I remember getting like I think the top mark in my first midterm, and my final grade was an A, like I said. Yeah. Um, Statistics, the teacher wasn't that great, but I got a B in it. Managerial accounting B plus. I loved that course a lot, really, and that's how I met one of my friends, Alina. There, she's really nice. We got to be together quite a bit, and and then, yeah, I got a C plus in managerial accounting. No, not in economics. Like the midterm was kind of BS. Like I did well in the homework, but whatever. That did not deter me from labeling it my favorite semester. I got to spend time with this girl in linear algebra, and like we had lunch together, and we talked quite a bit, which I liked quite a lot. Those moments were pretty nice, sitting in class. We'd share like, some funny moments and, just talk together. I hung out with quite a lot of my friends. I was in a church club every Friday, which was nice. Thursdays I had off because my parents went to work and I like, I pretty much just spent Thursdays off. And yeah, I was kind of social. It was a perfect balance. My grades were all right, and like all right to me. I don't know about you guys, but 3.17 GPA seemed pretty good to me. Um, yeah, that I'll do a recap on it if you guys want me to, but I think I most likely will because it was my favorite semester. My next favorite semester was immediately afterwards. It was the summer 2019. That semester, it was like a roller coaster. I talked with Alina quite a bit. I joined various church groups, church clubs, events. It was very social. And like it was a roller coaster in that many nights, like I would be late for class, but I would play games all the way until 3 a.m. in the morning. Um, like it wasn't good for my health, but damn, it was exhilarating. Like seriously. Um, yeah, that was pretty good. That was a very good semester. I ended up getting like an A minus in differential or ODEs and like a B in my Python class, despite having bad work habits. My third favorite semester. Okay, so five and six are gone. The summer 2019, as you can tell, was the sixth semester. My next one was 15. So the summer 2022. At the time, I was enrolled in three classes: number theory, international finance, and what was the other one? Uh, num oh, and a strategy. Yeah. Um, Number theory, it was hard just because like my TA was such a dick in marking homework. Like, he would dock marks if you didn't capitalize a word or such. But I liked it because number theory just by itself was really interesting. Nothing could take away the passion of it, although hard. I got to be in that class. I also enjoyed like having like I literally sat down next to a girl in every class I was enrolled in. I was just thinking, because I'm good at having conversations with guys. I'm kind of socially awkward with girls, and but we had pretty good conversations. I hung out with Alina for a bit, so it was all right. I got back in touch with her like in February of the previous semester. So, but that's for another conversation for another day. So, that was all right. And like my grades were pretty good. I got B plus in that in the finance and the B minus in strategy. Strategy was a little hard because it was like there was no right or wrong answers like maths, which I didn't really enjoy. But yeah, and like I discovered chess. I was really into that, and that's when I decided to start upping my skills in Super Mario Bros. Wii. Plus, in that summer break, like when it ended on August, no, when like class ended on August 17, it went to September 6th. My parents were gone for 65% of that time. Like they left for 10 days to Sunshine Coast in Canada, and they went for another 3 days to the US. So I pretty much had the entire house to myself. But I didn't really like stay up way later than like as I did in the summer 2019 because even though it's fun, you wake up feeling like you got hit by a bus, and that after effect just wasn't there for me. And also joined a lot of church clubs. We even went swimming in like one of the parks, which was very, very nice. And plus it was summer, so summers tend to be just overall good. Even if the rest of the semester was crap, like at least you get to see the sun like set late, and that's so satisfying to have. I also wanted to mention, I forgot to mention this with the summer 2019, like that's when I wouldn't recommend this to you now, but like at the time, like sort of the smoking kind of like helped me relieve through some of the stressful times. I don't smoke nearly as much as I used to, but at the time, like I smoked as much as Holden Caulfield and Catcher in the Rye, and like it just eased your mind. I later found out it wasn't that good, but back then, yeah, for sure. Okay, that was fifth. My next favorite semester, this is fourth. My fourth favorite was spring 2022. So far, I think the first two semesters, the spring and summer of 2019, those were like in the A plus A tier. Now we're like in the A minus tier. So yeah, this overall semester was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. This was the first semester where I officially sat down next to girls and started, just like talking with them. I was gradually building up my confidence level. I had a humanities class. I had a humanities class. I had a business technology class, and I had a part PDEs, partial differential equations. And they were all the girls I had talked to, they were super nice. One of them, in my PDEs, like we even agreed to meet up at Douglas College to stay together with some of her friends, which was really, really cool for me. And like the humanities class, that girl, she was really nice to me. I'm gonna not say her name just because of privacy reasons. It not that close, but like I remember talking to her about Cobra Kai or like some other small thing that was like going on. So that was good. And humanities, it was a pretty good class. Like I genuinely thought I would get at most a C plus, but I got a B in that class in humanities because like my story analysis was all right, and like actually got B's in all three of my classes that semester. And the reason this was one of my more favorite semesters was because I particularly remember in that semester everything was due on April 5th. Like I had 5 journal entries, and and I had a computer group presentation that was due on April 5th. And I remember feeling so stressed out, but I managed to work through it in the end. And it wasn't just that like moment. It was like all the other moments too. Like in the computer, give me a second. Like code is not easy for me as it like math is. And like I particularly remember like doing code and then like and actually conquering through each assignment. There was one assignment that was assigned to us over February, the reading break, and it was super long. It was like calculating census data or such, like I don't even remember. And just to know that I could take something that's so foreign to me, like RStudio, and still get 13.3 out of 15 on that assignment was just so satisfying to me, honestly. And like the PDEs was the first time I really struggled with math. I got 40% on the midterm, but I studied my ass off for the final and I got 80%, and I ended up getting a B there, which was, I think they decided to curve the grades because that course is really hard. Um, and then the break was pretty good too. Like in April, my family and I, we went to the Grand Canyon. We went to like Palm Springs. Like just it was such a satisfying break too. And as again, this is getting old, but I was social and going to church, and just it was really very nice. All right, so that was the fourth semester. The fifth semester was the fall of 2021. This was the very first fall semester. This is the very first fall semester that's like in my favorites. I generally tend to like summer and spring more than fall. Like I guess because it's like just the weather just rises my spirits up so much. So yeah, I remember I particularly remember that in that semester, that was the first time when online classes were officially over and then we could start doing in-person classes. I was like, oh, thank God, thank you so much. I literally thought it was gonna like, I couldn't take it anymore because just being at home was just mentally draining. Like, I really hate online classes. If it were up to me, they would be banned for life. Um, because like with the online classes, you couldn't go anywhere. You were studying, looking at the computer. When you were playing games, you were also looking at the computer. It was almost like as if your house was your prison, which just sucked. And then just going out there, it was like, oh, nice. Just to interact with people again, it was great. I got to eat more restaurant food that semester. Um, like because and you bet I did, because like just to celebrate going out. So I went a little bit over my budget, and a lot of the times, like for whatever reason, I decided to go out to eat at around 8:40 p.m. and like and then like take the bus at 10 p.m. and then head on home. It was just so nice. Like, I would order just about $20 to $30 for dinner. Which I understand is kind of extravagant, but that was I really enjoyed it. Yeah. I won't do it now, but of course, yeah. Um, I it was just I also reconnected with a girl from my linear algebra class. That was pretty satisfying too. I connected with her at the end of August in so before September 2021. And we hung out twice. We had lunch together once, and we just sort of did stuff. Yeah. To you, it might not sound like much, but to me, because I was really antisocial, like it meant a lot to me. Yeah. I'm feeling my face turning red as I'm saying it. Yeah, and like the reason why this was slightly lower than the others was probably one, because it was fall, but then two, because like I still didn't really talk to many girls and such. Like, I still, and church wasn't a big thing for me. I only went to church once that entire semester. But the winter break was pretty good. I did some driving lessons, and like I was a little more social with my parents, and we started to get better conversations together, which was very nice. And I played some games with it, and because my grades were not that terrible, Which I should specify, I got a C minus in like the writing course. I got a B in finance, which was quite nice because, you know, to me, a B and up was just satisfying. And I got a C plus in math. This was a complex numbers, but that was a hard course. So, you know, I was pretty proud of it. And yeah, so that was the fifth semester, my fifth favorite. The sixth favorite semester, now we're on the B plus tier, I think. It is my very first semester when I first started in university. This semester was good because it was my first time at university. I fully expected to like just I braced myself for a horrible 5 to 6 years of university because I thought, oh, every semester would be 4 courses or such. But to my surprise, it wasn't that bad. Like I remember I realized, oh, every class doesn't have to start at 8:30. And I remember on Friday, September 8th, 2017, I was like, wow. Like, you know, my first class is at 12:30. You know, I could just, you know, and I have math, you know, I'm just gonna relax and play a bit of games and such. This was when I kind of realized that I liked college a little more than high school because you didn't always have to wake up so early. And I think in fact, I'm gonna go slightly off topic. Schools are considering like, you know, some schools are considering delaying the start time of class and giving less homework to kids because just because like, you know, it would help overall performance and such. So, you know, that was good. And like I remember fully appreciating college, you know, getting in a feel of what college was like. Just being in a new environment was really enlightening to me. So yeah, and I'm not going to go into too much detail because I did a recapping my fall 2017 semester. Yeah, this was that semester. My seventh favorite semester is a polar opposite of the previous one. It was the very last semester I had in university. This was, you guessed it, fall 2022. This semester is number seven. Like I had a really relatively easy course load. Um, just calculus 3 and which I retook because I wasn't satisfied with my first grade and financial institutions. I got a no, I'll talk about the grades later. Like, you know, this one I was more relaxed and, you know, had more freedom. You know, like my parents didn't really care about my studying that much because it was just like it was 2 courses, like hello, right? I played a lot of chess and, you know, I went to a lot of social church clubs and such, you know, and hung out with my friends a lot. Um, like it was overall very good, but the reason it's number 7 was because the break wasn't as good, the semester break. Because I got an A plus in math, but I also got a D in financial institutions. For 3 days, me and my mom had like a pretty serious like argument because we low-key thought I was gonna get held back. Because the thing about the financial institutions course is it fills up really quickly and because I didn't really sign up for new courses because I thought like I was gonna like I was gonna graduate, but we thought I wasn't gonna graduate because like it was a D and not a C minus. So like Christmas fall 2022 didn't go very well. But luckily a week later I begged my professor to change the grade to a C minus. He wouldn't do that, but he said, luckily for you, a D and above is considered passing since you're not taking a general course and it's based on your concentration. Like I don't really know why I got a D. Like I did okay on my assignments, but I failed the final really badly. I got like the worst grade in history. Um, I'm gonna do a separate video on it. Essentially, the professor said that financial institutions, like everyone was guaranteed to pass, and there was a particular class where the lowest grade was a C minus. Everyone else got no C plus. Everyone else got B minus and higher. Don't trust everything you hear. That's a conversation for another day. But yeah, the overall semester was pretty good and fun, and I didn't really fall behind. It was just that last particular moment. I think this kind of goes to show where one moment can entirely ruin your semester, especially if it was at the end of the semester as opposed to the beginning or middle. But luckily, he told us that like a week later, and I was able to relatively enjoy the rest of my semester break after January 3rd. So, yeah. So that crossed out number seven. My okay, now we're getting to the B minus tier. Because this is my eighth favorite semester. My eighth favorite semester was the summer of 2020, from May to August of 2020. This was during when this was the first full semester when we were in lockdown. Summer 2020, I had quite easy courses. I had an investments course, and I had a math course. These courses were pretty easy. But I guess it was because the environment I was in of being trapped in like summer classes where like, I would spend 24 hours a day just sitting next to the computer. That mentally killed me. So the courses were easy, but my mental state wasn't the best. I remember getting 90% on my first math midterm, but I kind of slacked off later on. And my final report for my investments wasn't that great. I only received 70%, even though my quizzes for the investments class was like I got like nearly all A's. And luckily for me, the investments final exam was canceled, so I was able to slide with a B plus in that class, and I got a B in math. I still talked to a few friends, but I wasn't able to join as many clubs as I wished. And even when I joined clubs, they were all online, which was nearly as good of an experience as meeting face to face for obvious reasons. So, yeah, that was an easy semester, but the socialness wasn't really there. I had a relatively okay, but not exciting summer. So, yeah, that places summer 2020 as number eighth. Okay, now we're going down to the bottom half. Number nine, my ninth favorite semester was my third semester in college. This was the summer of 2018. This semester was okay. I had calculus 2, writing, business writing, some other I had financial accounting, and I had a economics course. This particular semester wasn't that bad, but it wasn't that great. It was just okay. I would rate it on the C plus tier, actually. Um, like I got an A in calculus, but there were times where I felt like slacking off, basically. And like my final grade exam mark for economics wasn't that great. I got a B, like I barely passed it. Like even though I got like an A, I was hovering at an A when I originally started the economics course. Um, this all in all wasn't that bad, but the main contributing factor was I got my first D in university when I took business writing. Business writing, in my defense, I don't want to make any excuses, but business writing, it's one of those things where it's like you think you know it, but you really don't. It's one of those courses that makes you question your sanity, to say the least. It makes the student even doubt if they can even write an email. Like, yeah. Um, and like I was just so frustrated because it's one of those classes where you try your absolute best and you're like, I just don't know how what I'm doing wrong. Yeah, this was one of those moments. But and also I very much know my work habits were not very good. In fact, I would say they were pretty bad that semester. I think one of the only things that made them bearable were the times where I would get to have lunch with my dad in Surrey, but because like his workplace was pretty close to Surrey, so like I would just be able to sometimes like when I had class at Surrey, I would just have lunch with him, and they made the semester slightly more bearable. My 10th favorite semester, or should I say seventh worst now? I don't know. This was my 8th semester. This was spring 2020. It started off okay. It started off pretty good. Like, I had 3 courses. I don't really want to talk about my grades because this was a total clusterfuck. Okay, here's what happened. Like this January and February and the first half of March were really good. I was really social. I played some games and my parents gave me more freedom this semester. And I was like getting A's and B's in my classes, but once we were in lockdown, I don't really know what happened. I don't really want to talk about this, and it's kind of a wave of guilt is currently rising over me as I'm talking about this. But that semester, like once the pandemic hit, I just fully shut down completely and just played games and barely passed all my classes. And me and my parents didn't get along that well. Like, and it sucked because my parents trusted me in January and February, and it was all the way until report cards came out that I even had the courage to tell them. Yeah. So they were kind of skeptical of me for a few semesters where I was able to regain their trust again. This was 3 years ago, but I still feel a sense of cringe on it to this very day. Okay, yeah. My next favorite semester, now we're on the C minus tier, was the fall of 2019. The ninth no, this was the beginning of my 3rd year. This is the 7th semester of a college. I had 4 really difficult classes. I don't even remember what they are anymore now. But like I would literally struggle to wake up every morning because like I think the reason why was because in the summer semester of 2019, my second favorite semester, I would literally play games all day, all night, and then stay up all day. And then like so transitioning from 2 courses to 4 courses in the next semester was just like very bad. And because I got an A minus and a B in that semester, I thought I could just have the same work habits. So it didn't really end up well. The reason why this isn't any lower on the list is because as I did these courses for about a month, but after struggling and realizing I was gonna fail all the classes for sure, I dropped all of them, which gave me more free time, but I'm really not proud of it. I would still spend all night playing games and such, and yeah, me and my parents, we didn't get along that well that for the 2 months. Yeah. And I joined some clubs, but there was always this feeling of guilt inside me, like I just wasn't happy with my decision. My 12th favorite semester, oh boy, is this gonna be a video of me agonizing in pain for the next 10 minutes? Because I really hope not. It's like watching a man eat 13 Subway sandwiches, all with waterless turkey ham meat, which essentially was what some of these semesters felt like. But me physically saying them out to you, yeah. There's a science that says people generally don't like to talk about their lowest moments. Yeah, this is one of them. Yeah, my 12th favorite semester, or aka fifth worst, was the spring of 2021. This was, yeah, during my 4th year. This was the 11th semester. We were still in lockdown at the time, but I got okay grades, but none of them were particularly very good. They were all C pluses. The accounting was like the financial accounting was one of those, it was nothing compared to math because like the teacher would show us the lesson on one hand, but the questions he gave us were like almost seemed irrelevant to the lessons he gave. Like this is why I like calculus and math much more because it's like the questions seem in sync with the lecture. So it's like I just didn't really understand what I was doing wrong. And then like, I just couldn't really understand those really, really, really hard accounting questions. So yeah, there was that. And then also like the with the one of the courses, the managerial behavior course, that I got a C plus, and I didn't do that well on the group project because I like slacked. I remember I would literally play games in the morning and then only start doing my homework in the afternoon. Yeah. Sorry, mom, if you're just finding out about this now. I could have gotten a B plus, maybe even an A minus in that class, but my poor contribution to the group project just didn't bring me up so high in the end. And my break was meh. Like I spent half of my semester break cleaning the house and such, which wasn't exactly fun. Yeah. And I had a game addiction at the time, so my parents and I would kind of argue about that too. So yeah. The bottom four. Now, these are all C minus, D plus, F tier, so I'm not going to say any more about that. These are my four least favorite semesters. Coming in at the 13th favorite or the fourth worst is the fall of 2018. At the time, this was my worst semester. I said at the time because there were obviously worser semesters later on. Worse? Worser? I don't know. I don't care really. Um, this fourth semester I took like calculus 3 for the first time. I took computer physics and statistics. This is one of the more painful semesters because like I for the first half of the semester, like I studied a lot of the physics and such in college, so like I was able to coast through with a A minus by doing relatively little work, and the lessons were pretty intuitive and understanding. But I know that if I put in a lot of effort, then I could have at least gotten a B, maybe even an A in all my classes. So that kind of hurts me the most. I was really slacking off, staying up late, playing games. I really didn't have a social life, and all of my social life where like I had all the boys and girls talk to me, I lost a lot of my friends that semester because like the group projects we would just fail them because I just wouldn't do my part and such. And the calculus 3 was just really threw me into oblivion and all that. I got a B minus surprisingly, even though I got a 50%, 53% on the final. I guess because like the course everyone found to be hard, but yeah. The only redeeming factor to it was was that I had a pretty good semester break when surprisingly, even after all the shit that happened, like my parents and I went to Oregon and I got a new iPhone. We switched from Samsung to iPhone 8, and then I went to when we got back, I went to Calgary with my church friends and for 3 days, which was really really nice. So yeah, the only redeeming thing was the semester break. Yeah. And like statistics, math, physics and such, they're like in my back alley. So to get fairly low grades on these, which I don't even want to talk about because I also failed my computing class, pretty embarrassing and shameful. Yeah. Okay, I'm feeling pretty depressed at this point, so I can't imagine what these last three are going to be like. Okay, coming in at number third, or my 14th favorite semester, is the second semester, spring 2018. Take all the same complaints I had about fall 2018, but add in that none of these courses were really like math or anything that I had a strong suit in to begin with. I had like economics and MIS, like both of them were very like uninteresting classes to me. Um, and like I remember skipping a lot of classes, and also that my I also remember like in the with the economics course, I literally had to rely on a girl to like give me homework answers so I could copy off of them. It ended up ruining our friendship at the end of the semester too. Which so we don't talk to each other today. I'm really sorry for that if you're watching this. And then like also, yeah, I was very antisocial that semester. And like also I remember my professor, he's a very famous professor. He talked about like the seatbelt law or something, saying that people are safer without seatbelts. I don't even remember. Like, it's just throwing some bogus stuff in my mind right now. Like, I had courses I didn't like and I slacked off. The only My semester break wasn't even that good though. Like, my parents and I, we went to like some place in the US for 10 days, but there's some things that are more important than money, I found out. Like, I would have rather had spent more time with a friend or such. Yeah. My second worst semester, we're in the F tier right now, if it hasn't become obvious to you. Was summer 2021. This semester we were still in lockdown. I was only taking 3 classes. Another MIS class was based on project management, business writing, and marketing. I failed my business writing class. I got a D in it, and I got an F in my project management, both of them because I didn't contribute to the group projects. I this semester wasn't because I was addicted to playing game. No, actually I was still addicted. It wasn't as big as like some of the other semesters, but like one because it was like the writing. It was a business writing course. It was like really hard for me to understand how to do it correctly. So there was that. And like I failed both of the term projects, team projects. So I got a B, D, and F. B in marketing, D in writing, F in project management. And I think what made it more depressing is I had very few events, like, so I wasn't able to connect with people that well. But what made it even more depressing was probably that it was summer and like the daylight was very long and I felt like I was trapped in prison. It's almost as if a bad guy's holding a piece of meat at you saying, haha, look at you, Birdie, you're trapped in your cage. You can't come out and eat this piece of meat. That's how I felt. Um, yeah, that semester was pretty miserable. And now for the worst semester, absolute dog shit semester. Drum roll, please. Fall 2020. Oh, this semester, oh boy. If they're F minus 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 tier, I had 4 courses. One of them was a statistics class that I retook. I had statistics, law, 2 other courses, which I can't even bother talking about right now. Totally bad. My law class, first of all, like we had to read like 35 pages a week, which to some of you doesn't seem like that much. But imagine just, that feeling when you read something, you don't understand any of what you're reading, then you get lulled into a sense of boredom, and then the ending comes and you go like, what? Yeah, that's how I felt. So like by the time I was finished reading the chapter, I forgot most of what I learned. I'm doing a little better at it now, but before it was like, oh God. And then like I was like just trapped. My friends were as miserable as I was. We had a few online study sessions, but they didn't go that well. My statistics, I tried my absolute best to work at it but because of my poor time management skills, I got a C plus, and then I really genuinely thought I would get at least a B in my statistics. So yeah, there was that. Law was miserable. Business writing was a course I retook. I got a C plus in it. There's 2 business writing courses, by the way. So I was retaking my first one because I got a D in it in summer 2018. So yeah, I got a C plus in it, but like my GPA that semester was 1.87. So combine a horrible GPA plus a horrible semester. My semester break was absolutely miserable. There's just no 2 ways around it. Yeah. So that was the 16 semesters. I will say this, it seemed like the odd numbered semesters were a lot better than my even numbered semesters. Like it seemed I would do relatively good in the odd numbered semesters, like 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, but horrible in the even numbered semesters. That was not intentional, like purely coincidental. But if you haven't noticed, my last 4 semesters, The bottom 4 semesters were all even numbered semesters, 4, 2, 12, 10. Yeah. The 10 being the fall 2020. Um, I also will say that like yeah, semesters no years 2 and 5 were my favorite semesters of all time. But it's pretty obvious that my fourth year was absolutely miserable because semester 12 and semester 10 were the bottom two, with semester 11 being fifth worst. So that's hands down the worst year I've ever had. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'd love to stay, but for now, I have to jump. I'll see you guys on the other side of the bridge. Catch you next time.